Question 11. Differentiate between LaPolli and Sapali. Answer. If the programmers want the output to be a data frame or a vector, then Sapali function is used, whereas if a programmer wants the output to be a list, then LaPolli is used. There one more function known as LaPolli which is preferred over Sapali, as LaPolli allows the programmer to specify the output type. The disadvantage of using LaPolli is that it is difficult to be implemented and more verbose. Question 12. What is the use of sample and subset functions in our programming language? Answer. Sample function can be used to select a random sample of size and from a huge dataset. Subset function is used to select variables and observations from a given dataset. Question 13. How can you resample statistical tests in R language? Answer. Coin package in R provides various options for re-randomization and permutations based on statistical tests. When test assumptions cannot be met, then this package serves as the best alternative to classical methods, as it does not assume random sampling from well-defined populations. Question 14. What is the purpose of using next statement in R language? Answer. If a developer wants to skip the current iteration of a loop in the code without terminating it, then they can use the next statement. Whenever the R parser comes across the next statement in the code, it skips evaluation of the loop further and jumps to the next iteration of the loop. Question 15. How will you create scatterplot matrices in R language? Answer. A matrix of scatterplots can be produced using pairs. Pairs function takes various parameters like formula, data, subset, labels, etc. The two key parameters required to build a scatterplot matrix are dash formula. A formula basically like a plus b plus c. Each term gives a separate variable in the pairs plots where the terms should be numerical vectors. It basically represents the series of variables used in pairs. Data. It basically represents the dataset from which the variables have to be taken for building a scatterplot. Question 16. How will you check if an element 25 is present in a vector? Answer. There are various ways to do this. It can be done using the match function. Match function returns the first appearance of a particular element. The other is to use %in%, which returns a boolean value either true or false. Is.element function also returns a boolean value either true or false based on whether it is present in a vector or not. Question 17. What is the difference between library and require functions in R language? Answer. There is no real difference between the two if the packages are not being loaded inside the function. Require function is usually used inside function and throws a warning whenever a particular package is not found. On the flip side, library function gives an error message if the desired package cannot be loaded. Question 18. What are the rules to define a variable name in R programming language? Answer. A variable name in R programming language can contain numeric and alphabets, along with special characters like dot and underline. Variable names in R language can begin with an alphabet or the dot symbol. However, if the variable name begins with a dot symbol, it should not be followed by a numeric digit. Question 19. What is a base package? Answer. A base package is the package that is loaded by default whenever our programming environment is loaded. A base package provides basic functionalities in our environment like arithmetic calculations, input/output. Question 20. Our programming language has several packages for data science which are meant to solve a specific problem. How do you decide which one to use? Answer. CRAN package repository in R has more than 6,000 packages, so a data scientist needs to follow a well-defined process and criteria to select the right one for a specific task. When looking for a package in the CRAN repository, a data scientist should list out all the requirements and issues so that an ideal package can address all those needs and issues. The best way to answer this question is to look for an R package that follows good software development principles and practices. For example, you might want to look at the quality documentation and unit tests. The next step is to check out how a particular package is used and read the reviews posted by other users of the R package. It is important to know if other data scientists or data analysts have been able to solve a similar problem as that of yours. When you in doubt choosing a particular R package, I would always ask for feedback from our community members or other colleagues to ensure that I am making the right choice.